Hi everyone, this is the Aspie Cowboy here, and today I'm going to be talking about comfort shows, and this is going to be the first episode in a 4 or 3 part series. I haven't decided if the fourth show is considered a comfort show. That'll be determined later on. And so this is going to be the first episode that we're going to be making here today. So this first show, so I have, comfort shows are really important, it's something you could just watch to enjoy and just relax to. It's what they call a comfort show, right? It's really comforting for you to watch. So this show is called Superstore. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And this show is hilarious. I've laughed so hard and so much with this show. It's helped me so much in so many ways. So we're going to be talking about that today. So Superstore, I found it a few years ago, back before, or when it was when the pandemic started. And I was staying at my mom's house in Tennessee, and we were looking for stuff to watch together, and we saw this show, Superstore. And for those of you who know me, which I assume some of you do at least, know that I volunteer at a grocery store or a supermarket. So I thought, wow, this show's supposed to be about, people working in retail at a supermarket. So I thought that would be really cool. I love comedies, and I love, just supermarket stuff, because that's what I do. And so I watched the show, and I was just bursting out laughing the entire time. It's such a great show. So essentially, well, to start off, I'm not going to be giving out way many spoilers, because, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who haven't seen it, and so I don't want to spoil it for anyone who might watch this video and might think, oh, I should watch this. So I might talk a little bit about some things. I'm going to go as spoiler free as I possibly can, but I'm going to give a description about what the show is about and what you can expect in it. So this show, they call Superstore, and it is about a group of people who work in retail. And so basically the show starts off where you meet this guy who has just got a job at the supermarket. It's actually called Cloud9 in the show. It's a fictional supermarket chain. So this guy, we see him in his interview. He gets hired, and even in the first couple minutes, it's just so much fun. And he meets his new boss, and they kind of have a rough start. We'll just say that. And so, like I said, I don't want to get too spoiler heavy into the show, but it's basically about this group of people working at a supermarket and how they navigate their lives, what it's like to work there. And so, me personally, I don't actually work I'm not an actual employee at the supermarket. I'm just a volunteer. I make announcements. But I did talk to one of my friends who do work there, and he says he watches the show, and he says it's very similar to the show, working at a supermarket. So I thought that was really cool. So the show is hilarious. It's just so much fun. I notice in the show a lot of times the characters will get into conversations, and then everything they say just gets misconstrued, so one person will be saying one thing and they'll say, oh, you mean this or that, and it just gets so hilarious. And I'm sorry, I can't stop but laugh. But yeah, it's such a great show. So I can't help but see myself in a lot of these characters, because it's pretty funny. One of the characters, his whole job, or the majority of his job, is making announcements, which is what I do. So I thought that was funny. His name is Garrett. He's the customer service guy. He just makes announcements all the time. And a lot of his personality is kind of similar with mine. He's the jokester, kind of the troll kind of guy. Like, he's just kind of the funny guy. So I've always been more of a jokester in my family. Like, I try to tell jokes or stuff, to see how gullible people can be. It's kind of funny. So I've always found myself seeing some of myself in these characters. Another character, Dina, she's the assistant manager in the store, and the people who made the show didn't officially confirm it, but I'm very certain that she's autistic or on the autism spectrum somewhere, because so many of what she does I can really resonate with. Like, she hates change, because there's been a lot of stuff in the show where schedules get changed or something happens, and she gets so upset about it. She's had panic attacks over something. She's had PTSD over another event. Again, I'm not going to give spoilers away. I'm just going to I'm giving some details about this character. And she's very specific on things that she likes and doesn't like. She's very smart. Like she knows the weirdest details about small little things. Like she just seems very like she has autism, you know. And I just see so much of myself in her and some of her personality. So I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, there's a lot of the show's really good. And the thing about the show is that it's such a feel-good show, and this is something that I'm going to be talking about in the next few shows as well when I talk about them in the next episodes. And it just feels so good to watch. And so I don't know exactly how to describe it unless you've actually seen it yourself or you know what I'm talking about. But a show like this, it just makes me feel so good to watch. Even though it's a comedy, sometimes bad things might happen or whatever. But at the end of the day, everything just feels so good to watch. And I'm trying my best to find a way to describe how I feel, how it feels, but it's like a warm, tingly feeling in my heart. It just makes me feel so warm and happy to watch this show and to see these people learning and to see, you know, people find love and find relationships in the show. It's just such an amazing viewing. And so I would have to say, because right now I'm watching the show right now, and I'm currently going through a run through of it, another watch of it, and I'm near the end of the season, the finale. I'm getting near the end. I'm on the last season, and it's always such a bittersweet feeling to go to watch one of these shows and to get near the end, to get to the last season, and knowing that it's going to be ending very soon, and just seeing everything come together, all the people that are, you know, happy, and it feels so good. Even, you know, okay, so the show is fictional, right? So these aren't real people, you know, the people I described aren't real, you know, but they're, you know, they're just being played by actors. But it feels real in a sense because it just makes me so happy seeing everything come together, you know, having people having problems and then things get resolved. It just feels so good to watch that, especially in real life, you know, when you hear about so many terrible things that happen, so many sad things, and it just, you know, life doesn't always work like that, but, you know, watching a TV show, it's just so nice. But it's also sad because I know it's coming to an end. Like I said, I've only got a few more episodes left in my current watching of it. That's why I picked Superstore to talk about today, because, you know, I'm watching it right now currently. And so it's just sad to come near the end. It's a happy feeling, and in the last episode, it is definitely worthy of causing some happy tears. I'll say that for sure, because that is such a happy. I guess I'm kind of spoiling it, but I'm not gonna say. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what happens. But it's such a happy ending. It is. I've heard so many people say that, you know, having a happy ending in a TV show or movie is a cliche, or it's, you know, it's boring and stuff. But I'm telling you, having happy endings, especially when it comes to this show, was amazing, because it literally made me cry happy tears, because I was just so happy to see everything work out for all these characters. It's like, I don't really know how to say it without spoiling it, but it's just such a happy feeling. If you've seen it, please comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do it, because it is one of the best shows I've ever seen. And it's just so, it just gives me such a warm, happy feeling. And this same feeling is going to occur for the next two shows I talk about it afterwards. And, you know, this show, I think, probably has the happiest ending, because it almost feels like almost unreal in a sense because of how the world is. It feels too heavenly in a way. Like, it's so happy and so perfect that it just doesn't feel like it fits in with the real world in a way, if you kind of understand that. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but if you've seen the show, you know. If you haven't, then you should watch it, and then you'll understand. But yeah, it's such a great ending, and it's such a happy show. Even when there are times where there's not good things happening to the show or the characters, it's always hilarious. Things always work out, and things are always just like, you know, back to work, and everyone's, you know, going back to the same routine. It's a great show. And I'm sure I said that a lot of times throughout this video, but it really is. And it has helped me a lot in my depression. A lot of times where I need a laugh, it's really helped me a lot. And you know, I've learned quite a lot from it as well, you know, a lot of different, you know, people sharing their different views and stuff. It's just, it's nonsensical at times, but at the same time, it's just really interesting, because some of the people in this show say really weird conspiracy theories. Like one of the characters says, he wishes kangaroos were real because they were talking about mythical animals, mythical creatures. And one of the characters had said, "Oh, I wish kangaroos were real." And they're like, "What are you talking about? Of course they're real." I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's such a great show. But yeah, so that's just one of the millions of examples. And then some of the episodes, they come up with different games to play in the store when they're bored. If it's an off day, they come up with, like, one episode they were shooting hoops and trying to find ways to throw a piece of paper into a basket and find different obstacles. Another episode, they were using price scanners as guns, and they were trying to, like, hunt each other. They're like, they had to scan a code or a barcode on someone's body, and they're like, people are hiding and trying to come up with ways to get the other person to come out. And so it was hilarious. It was... I laugh so hard every time I watch it. It's too good. But it's not just laughs, it's important life lessons. It's really just, I don't really know how to describe it perfectly, but I hope you can kind of understand what I'm saying with what I'm describing. It's just really good comedy, but there's also some down-to-earth moments. It's more, less laughing, but more listening and more thinking, right? If that makes sense. Hope I'm making enough sense. But yeah, it is a really great show. I highly recommend you all to watch it. All these shows that I'm going to be reviewing are great for sure. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I've got more videos coming probably either later in the week or next week. So I hope you stay tuned for that. Sorry. And I've got more videos, autism related videos coming. This is Autism Awareness Month here in April, so we've got a lot to talk about, or as much as we can. I'm trying to get involved with public speaking events, but that's always been hard. But if you want to learn more about my autism and my life, you've got plenty of videos on my YouTube channel. I write stuff on my Facebook page called Puzzle Joe, so I highly recommend you to check that out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for, being a part of my community, and it really means a lot that people want to learn about autism and share that knowledge with other people. It's really such a blessing. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. And until then, I'll see y'all next time.